Meanwhile, it's the Hall of Doom.
Hello, happy Monday. We're back.
Happy 44th President's Day.
We're back.
Put on for Barack today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, Barack, baby.
Yeah.
Been voting.
Yes.
All right, y'all. I'm Kim.
I'm Portia.
And this is K&P Presents. Y'all, I don't even know where to start. I guess we should catch up. Let's see.
Yes, there's so much to catch up on. We've been doing a lot.
We've been doing a lot, honey.
So exciting, though.
I did a panel for Black Mothers Mortality during maternity after having babies at Houston Tillotson with the Urban Expo. Shout out to Terry Mitchell and the whole crew for putting that together. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. Our babies got to meet
the football player from UT. Yeah, I don't know football, so she would not know.
It was too cute.
Yeah.
And what else?
He was super dope, very down to earth and humble.
Super, super cool, super laid back. What else? Done?
The Galentine's brunch, which was the most recent event,
y'all.
But we've done a few.
Mind blow. Thank you to every woman that came up. Like, oh my God, like
y'all, absolutely amazing.
You had to be there to feel it. Y'all know how everybody talk about energy and stuff like that. I get it, but like to feel it and to be in a place with it, with the kind of women that just.
They want positivity. Like they want positivity. They want connections. They want to be around women with like minds, like the ones that were there. They were just, and they shared things like that. I just want to be connected with other women, and I'm so happy I was able to come and see that it's Black women out here. Like,
yeah, because a lot of people were shocked by that.
I was like, yeah, we all over, but we scattered, but we all over. We just working. Now we're working towards bringing us together more often. Not just the women, but men. We coming for y'all too.
Oh, we so coming for y'all because we got some requests.
Yes,
a couple of men were like, why don't y'all do a mixer?
Yes, it was phenomenal though. We partnered with Marita B Events.
Shout out Marita B.
And she did all of the decor, and it was amazing. It was beautiful.
So beautiful.
We had so many sponsors. Shout out to all of our sponsors. We had so many women at the event that were just giving things to women
during the event,
because a lot of the women were bosses, like they had their own businesses, so they were able to connect. I think there was 2 guests that found out they were cousins and didn't even know it. Mm-hmm. It was just amazing. And then prior to that, we had our vision board party.
Oh yeah, that's what we left off with y'all at.
That was the first event we had, and we just had to continue the flow of energy that was there, because right after that event, there's like, when's the next event? Like
literally right after.
I'm so sad I couldn't make it. Like, dang, so we're going to continue to keep the events coming. We have Manifest March coming, which is a recap of our vision board party that happened in December. So we are super, super excited about it, and just stay tuned for it so you don't miss it. For the people that's always like, I didn't get to come. Yeah. So make sure you stay tuned.
The end of March. So y'all know 6 weeks in advance.
Yes.
The end of March.
The last weekend.
The very last week.
Last
Sunday of March. So y'all be ready for it. Oh, and then probably like, our biggest thing, we got an official sponsor.
Yes, for this season we have an official sponsor, Paradise on Ice.
I am drinking Sandy Cheeks.
And I am too.
Sound a little verdict. But I am drinking Sandy. These are so good. It's like amaretto with pineapple. It's good. And then for our guests, anytime we have guests on, they'll get an option of the
jumbo
size.
It's big.
Jello shot,
the regular one,
and rummy worms. So
yes, and those are all potent. So if you have never been to Paradise on Ice, it's a daiquiri shop. They have 2 locations, but make sure you check out the one on Burnett Road.
It's so huge.
Very, very beautiful space. You feel like you're in a whole nother like in Miami or something.
You do.
Because the vibe is just so nice and very beachy. It really goes with the theme.
Yeah.
But they have weekly specials every day of the week. So they have something to cater to everybody. But
except for Fridays and Saturdays. Those are only 2 days they don't have. But Tuesday
Except
through
for Fridays
Thursdays,
and
they got specials. I think today is buy one, get one free, half off.
on Mondays, I believe so.
Yeah. She's like, what?
Yes. So
But,
if you haven't checked them out, you should definitely go.
Yeah, we shot another photo shoot that was super duper bomb.
The one at Paradise?
The one at Paradise on Ice.
Yes, which was really dope.
We did a commercial. We did a promo. We're gonna play that for y'all soon too, because we did the bloopers. If y'all been to our page, KNP
Those were
Present,
so funny.
we did bloopers. Shout out to Chelsea Marley, another boss mommy that I personally adore. She came through clutch.
She really did, like in the clutch, like, Chels, we need you. Where you at? And she just
showed up for the
put it all together beautifully. So
it was awesome.
It was amazing.
We just been doing, and then wait a minute, come on, lit kids.
Oh,
Come on, lit kids. Y'all know I gotta celebrate my sister because
I'm excited.
This has been
It's been a long time.
She put it all into the world. We talked about it. I was like, that's a bomb idea. You should. I'd buy it. And she's a teacher, so it only makes sense. And then she also is an author, first children's book.
Yes.
Coco, shout out Coco Delight.
Yes,
and
Coco.
now we're gonna have a subscription box.
Yes, so I have been working on it for over a year now, like almost a year and a half. Kim has been through with me through the whole process. Like, how does this look? How does this sound? What does this look like? So I'm finally putting it out there in the universe for people to actually see. And so it'll be launching at the end of March. But I have started my social media promotion for it, just to engage and get people, in tune with what's going on. So here's how the box will look. It's humongous. So, I'm in the beginning phases, and I didn't know.
But that's a good size.
It's going to be this. No, it's not going to be this big. This is humongous. We can both hide behind this. Like, can we? About 15 books can fit in here. It's too big.
But you're doing books, you're doing activities.
Learning activity and a special gift. It don't need to be in this big old box.
You might need that
But
much.
this is the box. It'll come in, and it'll have three curated books that I personally have picked. I've read so many books with my son. So the book box is all about representation. So it'll be books of representation for children of color. So I cannot wait to launch it and you all to give me your feedback and you all to just be able to dive into books with kids and most importantly build your at-home libraries so that you can additionally build your kids' joy for literacy and build a love for literacy, not only with your child but with you as well. So I'm super, super excited about it. If you want to know more, follow me at Lit Kids. That's, look, let me just show you.
Liddy.
It's very hard. It's L.I.T.kids on Instagram and then just Lit Kids on Facebook. So follow it. I would love for you to continue to support me in all of my endeavors. So thank you for putting that out there.
Of course.
If I don't say it, she gonna say it.
Oh, I'm gonna say it.
I was gonna say it, but she put it out there already. So
because I'm so proud of you. A lot of people don't. I don't think people like realize what goes into even
it's a
podcasting. Like you have to create content. You have to create connections. You have to make sure you get the right people.
Yeah.
You have to talk about what's in the know. Speaking of that, I want to take a moment to personally. I've done it a couple of times, but I'm gonna do it again. Send my condolences to the families that passed away in the helicopter accident with Kobe and Gianna the 9th. That was just
devastating. That was horrible.
That was I remember putting on Facebook, this is the worst Sunday like ever. And as a mother, as a fan, I was just like, but as a mother, I cried hard.
It was so sad.
I held my kids like as tight as I could. Like, y'all, for real, like, do not take your life for granted. Because it's not about the money, it's not about any of those things. It's really and truly about who you are and what you leave behind once you're no longer here in the physical realm. So just love on your people while you can. Love on your children, love on each other, love on yourself.
Because I can only imagine what the family is continuing to this day to go through.
And it's so public.
Because a father as well as a child and a sister, you know what I'm saying?
Just everybody.
A brother, a husband.
The Altabello family, I think it was like 3. The wife, the dad.
And they had a baby.
And it's just 2. Oh, bless their heart.
In addition to the other, like it was like couples, a kid and a parent, a kid and a parent. So a lot of them.
Like families.
Yeah. Lost 2 people within their families, which is
terrible,
really, really sad.
I definitely wanted to make sure. I know they had the All-Star game last night.
I didn't get to watch it, but I saw some of the tributes, like the highlights.
Jennifer Hudson.
And I was like, wow.
Jennifer Hudson.
I probably would have been crying.
Wow. I couldn't. I started it, and then I started crying. I cry about everything. I started crying, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. Let me go.
Thought I was a crybaby.
I cry about everything, y'all. I really do. But I just wanted to make sure we do that because we forget those things sometimes. I think sometimes we think that there is no end and that we're invincible and we always planning for today, but we're never like just in the moment. And I think that's a really big thing that I've been trying to practice is being present, like even with my children, with myself.
With your spouse? You did a great job of it on Valentine's.
I did. Shout out to
Everybody
my
ain't
baby.
able. But no, you teach me how to like cater and love a man more based off of like what I be seeing you doing.
I try.
Because women can, as you said, like me, like
I need
Valentine's
to be
Day, it's about me. Where my gifts? Like,
he need to show up for me, like,
or just in general. So
he exists.
It's not always about you.
You can't.
It's about both.
You can't
and giving both.
You can't be like a team member and only care about yourself.
Right.
That doesn't make you a team member. That makes you a person and
a selfish person.
A very selfish person. And I feel like with Damon, and I mean I've shared it with you guys. Just all the health stuff that we've been going through since I started podcasting and blogging. He's been there, and it's real easy to leave. Real easy to leave. And he literally sticks by me, and I was like, I have to really start showing you more appreciation for what you do. I had a talk with my doula. Me and her talked about it. It's just big because men need to show that they're appreciated, that they're loved, that they're valued, that they're wanted. I think a lot of times we get lost in ourselves because we probably sometimes don't feel appreciated, but I always challenge you to just like, okay, if you don't feel appreciated, how do you think he's feeling?
Mm-hmm.
That's my little TED. That's my TED Talk.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
TED Talk. Well, we are excited for the evening. I'm excited.
I'm super
about what's about to happen. Our guests for the evening, because for me, I was on Facebook one day just scrolling, and I came across this trailer, and I was like, and I watched it, and I was like, that's Austin.
She's so goofy.
I was like, that's Austin. What is? And I was like, oh wow, this is a whole series about like East Austin, where I'm from, where I was born and raised, where Grandma's house is right on Maynard Airport, and like just to see that somebody's taking the time to create a film to talk about how much has changed and the struggles of those who are there, or or the people just living there and dealing with how much has changed and the gentrification that's going on. It's just like, wow, like it's a lot to take in. So looking at the Facebook video, of course I do more research, so I figured out who created the film, which was Tia. And me and Tia were actually in like this Queen Bays group together on Instagram. And so I was like, hey, I know her. I don't know her, but I know her. And so I know her, but I know her. But I know her. We be sharing, all of us share little messages and invites and stuff like that. And so I just started promoting it on my Facebook because I thought it was really dope. Like it's a dope concept. And a lot of people don't talk about the gentrification in Austin, and for somebody to step out and do that. And it seems like she's doing very, very well with promoting it and getting the support. So I thought it was just dope to bring her on to talk more about it, especially because we're Austin-based as a podcast.
18.
We are born and raised in Austin. And so for someone to come in and just expose that, I am all in for it. So
is she black?
Yes, she gonna be the next Issa Rae.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, that's the first thing I thought about when I thought about her.
That did the shot, Lena Waithe. I like her too.
The bisexual lady with isn't she?
I don't know about her sexual orientation.
She's gay.
Just regular gay?
No, she's really pretty.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous.
But yes, the first person I thought of was Issa Rae.
I love Issa.
Yes, but y'all are gonna meet her soon. I am so excited to just dig in deep and talk about the series itself, learn a little bit more about her and what's coming up. So y'all stay tuned because she'll be in shortly.
What should we got for y'all?
Check it out. We're about to play a trailer too, so you can kind of get background on what she's doing.
I need to stop drinking.
Yeah.
I gotta go home.
Cheers.
Okay.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Candy Presents.
I'm Kim.
I'm Portia.
And I'm Tia.
Come on, man. Tell them who you are.
Lovely Tia with us.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited.
Of course.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about you, Tia. We've kind of told the
What
people,
would you
but...
like to know?
Well, who is Tia?
Man, I think that is still something that I'm even learning myself. I'm
Yes,
still
you're
growing
learning it
every
every
day. I am an artist, a creative, a daughter, a friend, a goofball. And also,
For real.
there's so much about me. Yeah, there's so much about me. But like I said, I'm still growing and learning about myself every day. So,
I love that.
yeah.
Awesome.
Now, I just have to know, what was like the tipping point where you were like, this needs to be talked about. I need to bring this to the masses. And I know it needs to be masses, and I'm the person to do it. What was that?
So for me, I know that with my work, I wanted to always have a topic that affects the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
That's always my goal. How can I be a voice for the voiceless? And I remember going out one night, it was my birthday years back, and me and my friends were trying to find places where other Black people were, or where a DJ was playing something we can actually, twerk to. And we like hopped around so many places, and we just were tired. And I was like, why a place like Austin that is supposed to be diverse and, we have so many different people here, why is it that Black people have to constantly search for things? I shouldn't have to seek things out. You know what I mean?
just
Like,
be there.
it should just be there.
Yeah.
Because a white person doesn't have to do that.
At
They don't
all.
have to search for hair care products. They don't have to search where to eat. They don't have to know what businesses, like, it's so many things that people don't think about that we have to constantly think about.
Yeah. All the time.
And so initially it started out as something I was going to do like a parody. It was going to be a comedy about gentrification. But then as I kind of sat back and started asking more questions and going deeper, I was like, as Black people, we usually laugh at our pain. This is not really something I want people to laugh about. I want people to learn something here. So I took a step back and said, okay, how can I put this out there in front of a larger audience and get people kind of talking about gentrification and who it impacts? So that's where it all started.
I like that. Are you from Austin?
I was born here, but I was not raised here.
Okay.
Just so people are aware of that, I was not. And a lot of the times I think I was worried. It was like, oh my God, are people going to be like, why is she the one telling this story and yada, yada, yada. What I also want people to understand is that gentrification is impacting Black people everywhere we were. I have gotten messages from people in DC, Atlanta, literally everywhere that I can think of. Houston.
I just saw Houston.
Yeah, so it's really impacting everybody everywhere. So I really wanted this to be a conversation about Black people and why we're constantly looked at as disposable. You know what I mean? Or why we're constantly being pushed out of our spaces and
Pushed far out at that, because
way out.
yeah,
Too far.
Too far.
45-minute drive.
too far to want to come back to
Too
where
far
you
to
want
want
to
to
come
come
back.
back,
Like, it's
man.
just too far.
It's a lot
Yeah.
to deal with.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
do
I
you
mean.
have family here that like have homes on the east side of Austin?
I don't. All of my family is back in Houston.
Okay.
So it's just, really just me here. But I have met a lot of people who are from Austin, who were raised in Austin. And the homeowners who let us use their home to film, I've gotten really close to them. And some of the things that they've told me, I'm just like, that's exactly why I stepped in and to do this.
Yeah.
Living in your neighborhood and being there for generations, and suddenly different people coming in, your neighbors disappearing, you don't know who people are.
You being the only original on the block.
You being the only person, not just original, but the only black person on the block.
That too.
Now you got to worry about your behavior being constantly policed. There's a lot of little things that people just don't think about. So they've told me a lot as well.
Awesome, because I asked that because me and Kim, like I said, are both from Austin, East Austin to be exact, where a lot of the gentrification is going on. My grandmother has a home on Manor and Airport, and I say the only original because in her neighborhood it was people of color, like Hispanics and blacks, and so now she's the only home that's there, the only resident that's still there, versus all of her neighbors have either passed on or they sold their homes because they offer them so much, and they're like, "Ooh, they see that check and they ready to go."
Hard to say.
But my grandmother, she's not that easy to,
Firm, baby.
pursue.
Shout out Big Mama.
Yeah, so that's why I asked that. But she gets letters all the time. Like not only my grandmother, but I have, what's the name of that street? But it's over there by the Millennium. My grandmother, my great aunt, my great aunt stays over there, and then all of her sisters have houses there, and they're all going through the same thing of people asking for their homes
Door knocking.
over and over again. Door knocking, sending letters,
It's
like
insane.
all of that, and then the people next to her, you got these, two, like the duplex homes on one lot, them itty bitty homes. Those are majority of what's there.
Oh my
They
God.
build it up. They
Yeah.
can't build out, so it is cheaper to build up so they can use more land.
It's insane.
And that's why they keep doing it. So now when you have this regular size family home that fit 4 or 5 people comfortably, in between, you're in
That's
between
mini
two,
house.
like,
It is
condominiums
it's
now.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just like, what is
Well,
happening?
my elementary school teacher, she's still on that block. It's just her and my grandma. But it's just crazy. It's crazy. Like one of our old friends, when her grandmother passed away, they sold the home. And the thing is that you selling it, and they're going to get so much more out of your home once you
Yeah.
sell it. Way
The
much
millions
more.
that they're offering you is just a fraction of what they're going to see.
Exactly.
But that's what me and you were kind of chatting about before the show, and this is my thing. Y'all gonna feel some type of way about it, but I'm gonna say it because I don't care. It is the truth. One of the issues that we have is we will learn about how somebody scores so many points, who the best rapper is, what they wear, what they buy their jewelry, where to get some Man Crush Monday bags and stuff like that. We'll find all that stuff out about, but don't nobody want to do the research to learn how to be a landlord. You don't have to sell the property.
You do not.
You can keep it and rent it out. Yes, it's a job, but everything is a job. Keep something because God ain't making no more land. This is it. We don't get any more land. So the little piece that you have, that little lot that your grandma, your great grandma, your granddaddy, them people work for, because this is Austin. This is Austin. Yeah, we're diverse, but it's Austin and it's Texas. Keep it. Hold on to it. Learn what to do, because if you keep doing nonsense, like, oh, well, I'm going to just sell it and just take this $100,000 and move to Pflugerville. First of all, that ain't even enough money. You can't even do it in Pflugerville now. You can't do it in Pflugerville. You can't do it in Ramrock. Everything is becoming entirely too expensive in Central Texas. And the reason why is because we're letting them lowball us. If somebody's offering you $1 million, you got to know they finna make 3 or 4 off of it.
That just makes sense, but people don't see that. They just see a check.
But
Quick, so.
And I know for me, like when we were having that conversation, while I understand that point, I also have to say that if it were me, I can't really say what I would do in a situation, only because it's more than just about the money. A lot of people have a lot of different reasons for not wanting to be a part of a neighborhood anymore. And one of the things that I was saying is, I'm not trying to live anywhere, and I know you're saying be a landlord, but I'm not trying to live anywhere where I have to constantly feel uncomfortable. We already have to feel uncomfortable. I got to feel uncomfortable at work because I'm the only black girl. I got to feel, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. I don't want to have to feel uncomfortable in my own home, in my own neighborhood. I don't want my behavior to constantly be policed. You know, white people or other people calling the cops because of things that they don't understand.
Right.
Oh, my neighbor was too loud. Okay, well, you're calling the cops on me, and that could result in me turning into another hashtag. So please calm down. And those are the kind of things that I think people need to think about. Like, back in the day, your mom, you probably knew everybody on the block.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knew you.
Every person.
Now it's like having the conversations with your neighbors or just doing things like that. It's like it's kind of hard to do that because you don't even know the people who live next to you.
You don't have no similarities to them. You don't have any common interests. I get it.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
I think there's a lot of reasons people do it, but I understand what you're saying as well.
That's the other reason why I say, because I've watched a lot of people personally that just sell and give away land, and it's just like, y'all, come on now. I guess it bothers me because the only way that we're gonna really take back the block is by keeping it.
Yeah,
we can't really. They can't. We can't give them so much to gentrify if we're still there. I mean,
or buy it back.
Buy it back.
Move back into, if you've already moved outside of the neighborhood, if you've made enough money to purchase a home, think about going back and, you know, purchasing the space. There's a lot of different things. I try not to speak too much on it because I know I'm not an expert on gentrification or how to combat gentrification, but I do think that if anybody's going to fix it, it's going to be us.
Yeah.
Because the politicians don't care. The people buying the homes now, they don't care either. So it's going to be us or it's going to be nobody.
And early voting is tomorrow. Actually, since she stated that, early voting is tomorrow, so make sure you're paying attention to the people, because these are the ones that they make up the lines. Mm-hmm. They make up the rules and the laws and what gets played into and who gets what kind of money, and they make that up. So please, y'all, look into it. I know it's a little bit more frustrating than what, you know, we care to really figure out, but if you follow Eric Bird,
he's a great resource.
He's phenomenal. He's actually met with a couple of the people that are on ballots, and he's giving his suggestions on who he feels are for us. And a lot of what we're going through kind of starts there as well. A lot of us don't know,
don't know how to navigate it.
We don't know how to navigate. We don't show up at City Hall. We don't even know nothing about City Hall. It's like,
and they're not going to give you the information either.
Yeah, they don't do. They purposely kind of shun us from it because they don't want us to be that. They don't want. I didn't want y'all to read, y'all. They didn't want y'all to read. They didn't want us to vote.
They don't want us to have any kind of power
because
we have the numbers.
We do.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
I forgot to tell you, but you know my great grandmother, my grandma's mom. So she has property in Pflugerville. You know that big property. That. What do they call it? Historic Pflugerville. Mm-hmm. But it's basically the only land that Black people way back in the day could purchase homes at. Mm-hmm. And so now my family is going through, which y'all probably seen on the news because they put it all on the news now. They've put all of our land on the news. So they're basically trying to, the colored edition is what it's called. And Mimi's worked with it before, Mimi Styles. And so they're trying to buy out my great-grandmother's land. Mind you, my grandmother's very old home, it's a historical home, sits there. Her daughter's home sits there. And then she also bought the rest of the land just so that we could have it in the family. And so we've been going over this for like over a year, but now they're going to a point where they're making it more publicly known.
They're trying to do eminent domain?
Yeah. They want to.
Talking about
they want
to. Literally were.
My grandmother is named after my grandmother's last name, Russell Street, and then Caldwell, because they were the first Black families in the colored edition. And so they want to put street lights out there. They want to build community homes. In the back of my grandmother's home, it's those apartments. It's some apartment homes back there.
Of course.
And then right up the street is the colored edition funeral home where a lot of my family is buried, along with my great grandmother and father. Mm-hmm. But now it's on TV that we're trying to get this land. You know what I'm saying? And it's only like 2 or 3 of my family members that's really fighting to keep the land. And so now we have to go through all of these legal things, and I don't really know much about that. And so it's just been a lot. And like for my great aunt to get the land that she bought after having her home, each lot was worth $12,000, and because of her being Black and they found out she was Black, they doubled it. So she still bought it, but it's just like, why would you do that? Yeah. And so now we're trying to go through that whole process, and it's very stressful and sad because our family's so big, but everybody's not going to put their foot down to try to help and do what they need to do. And so that just reminds me of that, because it's happening, but because I have so much going on, it unfortunately is sad to say, but it kind of falls to the wayside because I have my own personal stuff going on. But
yeah, and that's exactly what I explore in the series. Literally exactly what I explore in the series is what we deal with on a day-to-day, and how gentrification is like, it's an underlying issue. While doing that, we're dealing with our personal lives, we're dealing with depression, we're dealing with work, trying to hold down a family, kids, all of these things. And now we also have to worry about how we're going to live, where we're going to live, how we're going to keep these things in our family. And that's kind of what I wanted people to look at. It's a lot for one family or one person to deal with, period.
Absolutely. It is.
It's a lot that people don't.
And they have the power, so they gon' put everything they got into getting what they want.
And money talks.
And if you're not educated enough or don't know the ropes in that field, they'll get you.
Or don't have no money.
Yeah.
That's too.
Because I ain't got it.
And I know a lot of people are scared of property taxes. You inherit the land or the home, but them taxes will scare you off. Like, they be high.
They will.
They are very high. But if you, budget and plan accordingly, especially for those family members that are older and, eventually, like, plan accordingly. Start saving now and preparing for when that happens so that you can keep that home. If you decide to keep it in the family. Because my grandmother's home, I want to keep it.
We got to go back and talk about how a lot of us can't even plan accordingly because a lot of us are still poor. Like, saying save money is easy. I watched a documentary on Netflix where they explain why there's such a wealth gap, and it's like, it's impossible to save when you don't have that income. So you're hitting all these walls. Like, we've been oppressed for a long time. This isn't anything new, and we're still dealing with that. So to say, okay, I need you to start saving money, Tia, so that if something were to happen, you can have money for property taxes, XYZ.
Yeah.
Well, give me the money to save.
What money I'm gonna save?
Yeah,
how am I gonna save when I don't have to begin with? You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's kind of what we really have to think about. It's like something has to give.
Do you think that's intentional?
What's intentional?
The wealth
The
gap
gap?
possibly.
I
think
absolutely
so.
do feel like it's intentional. I think that there are a lot of powers at play. Going way back to way back in the day. There's a lot of reasons that we as Black people have remained, not as wealthy as our white counterparts. So I definitely think it's intentional. It's always been.
Yeah.
How do you feel like gentrification plays into our family structure? Because I have a good girlfriend, purchased her home, and when we had a conversation, she was like, I know I wouldn't have been able to purchase this home without my husband. And I think about so many people that I know that are not married, not even in relationships, to the point where, like, yeah, you could probably manage like the mortgage or something, but Lord forbid something happens where the water heater goes out, or then you kind of back at the point to where, like, are we doing it because we're house poor? Do we have the help? It's just so much. And I think, because I say I want to buy property all the time, but I want to buy land. I don't want to live in a subdivision.
Which is smart.
I want to buy land. And when I think about it, I think, like, okay, I want to do this, so if in any event something ever happened, my kids always had somewhere to go to. I kind of want to be more of a homestead, something you can keep in the family where you have to you got to get 90 people to sign off on even selling a lot. Do you think that that's kind of where possibly a lot of our breakdowns happen, because we don't really have that same family structure we had those 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago?
Definitely. So in the series, when I wrote this, it's a brother and a sister. We have Coretta, we have Aaron. Aaron has kind of moved out of the neighborhood. He's starting a new life. He's getting married. You have Coretta, who is battling to hold down a job and try to keep this house. Her grandmother passes away, and she's trying to fight for it. But like you were saying, we kind of have to think about, like, we were built different. Like, our families have been broken down, and again, a lot of powers at play. So it's hard for us to come together a lot of the times to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fight for it. And a lot of us also have to think about, some of us are really selfish. It's, in our particular generation, I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of people are probably gonna be like, "Did she just say that?" Yeah, I did.
I'm sure
a lot of us really are
like
selfish.
I say it all the time.
And we're thinking about, like you were saying, we're thinking about what's happening with us now because of all that we have going on, but we're not thinking about what's going to happen down the line. And that's how we're going to build generational wealth. But if I don't get along with my sibling and we don't agree, well, then so be it. We just sell grandma's house, we split the money, and then we move on. And it's like, okay, but now what? And I've heard that happen with a lot of other families.
Lots of
when
families.
people have to, sell somebody's house. I know personally it's probably happened in my family, but I won't go into that because my mom will probably watch it and she's going to be like, you better not. It happens with everybody. Our family structure, we've been broken down, and that goes back again. We're working against things that have been happening for years and years and years, and we're still dealing with the impacts of it. So,
Yeah, that definitely happened in my family.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
scared
sad.
for it to. It's happened in my family and with a friend as well. But the day that my grandmother passes, she has so many kids, and you have some of those kids that's just not responsible, but they can get that house too. And it's just, I'm just not looking for that because it breaks down the family in so many different ways, and it just makes it so much harder to figure out what's next when it comes to the home. So
it's easier for people to just say, hey, let's sell it, let's split it.
Yeah, 'cause you don't have to deal with it.
We don't have to deal with it. A lot of us are probably in debt as is. A lot of us probably can use the money. And that's why
Absolutely.
I said I can't say what I would do if somebody came to me if I had a house and asked me to sell it and handed me $1 million check.
right.
I literally could not tell
it
you
look
what I
real
would do
nice.
right now.
I agree.
Because in the moment, it looks really nice.
Especially if you
have
catch
other
them at a vulnerable moment and you probably lost your job. Look,
And that's what it is. And that's why you have these people who go out and are door knocking and sending these papers to elderly who don't know any better, who maybe, don't have the income, all these things going on. And they know that it's not going to be that hard to convince somebody when they slide a check your way. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I remember being in a hair salon, and it was a lady that was in there. And like I said, I grew up in Northeast Austin. So in the area of Northeast Austin, I grew in Northeast Drive, Loyola, 2-3. There's always been really nice homes.
They
Diverse.
are very
Always
nice.
been, you could walk to school, walk anywhere. So with Pierce, I don't know what they call it now. Pierce Middle School, Andrews Elementary, all right there. And I was in a hair salon one day, and I'm real familiar with the street names. I used to walk a lot. And a lady was like, yeah, such and such sold her house on Loyola, right off Ashford. And I'm thinking to myself, I know exactly what it is. And she was like, yeah, she went ahead and bought her house in Pflugerville, and she still got money to spend. I'm thinking to myself, like, house in Pflugerville probably about $250, $280, depending on how big, where it is. Still got money to spare, so they probably gave her maybe $300,000-400,000, and then I can 100% get. I remember you can go down some of those streets right now and see the new houses that they built. Those houses are worth like $600,000 and $700,000 easily. When I tell you they double, triple their money so quick, and I'm thinking to myself like, do these people have people to talk to before they make these decisions?
Probably not. No.
Probably not.
And some of them probably don't even talk to anybody. They just take the offer because it's there. And they're probably scared that it may not come again, or, just like their vulnerability. So, no.
That's what's so scary about it.
It is.
No.
I know one of my friends, she called me, and she doesn't even live in Texas. She called and she was like, girl, I just thought about you. And I was like, what's going on? And she's like, well, I'm at my grandma's house, right? And this guy comes up and knocks on my grandma's door and saying that he wants to talk to her about selling her house. And I tell him to get the on and get off my grandma's porch and don't come back over here no more. And she was like, had I not been here, my grandma probably would have talked to him. He probably did some smooth, smooth talking, which is usually what happens. You throw out a number, and then there are many reasons, again, like we said, we don't have anybody to talk to really about what we have, what it's worth. If we owe any kind of money, you know what I mean? How can we really get from under all of these things? So I think that there are a lot of power, a lot of things at play.
So with you developing the series Gentrify, because it is a series, correct? I heard you mention like you used different homes in the community as well as you interviewed people. Is that what you did? Or what was the process of developing the film? Like, did you talk with like local residents? Or, I can only imagine. I know you said you had a crew, but like, did you talk to previous residents of the community, or at least the people that in the homes that you used? Or
so I remember initially when this idea came to me, I posted that I wanted to interview people who were being impacted by gentrification, and I got zero response. Nobody wanted to really talk to me. Nobody wanted to talk to me. But the person who I was with at the time was born and raised here. I talked to him. I talked to his family. And it's also how I kind of got the idea about the grandmother passing. His grandmother passed, and you kind of think about what happens when we all lose our anchors in a family. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm going through it. My grandmother passed in October, and our family dynamic is completely different. It's okay. But I think that's something else that we have to think about. It's like, what happens when the glue is gone? As a family, what do we do? How do we maintain?
Listen.
How do we maintain that family? So talking to other individuals and trying to go deeper into what gentrification was and how it really impacted people. That's initially how I started, and I sat down and I wrote. I wrote like 64 pages, I think, in a day because so much was coming to me. After that, we did the casting, or I got with Maureen, who was the producer, and we talked about what we need to do. We had a casting, we did a crew call, we got everybody together, we started raising funds, and I think, when did this process initially start? I think we started this in around November, December of 2018, and we started filming in April of 2019. and we're still going. So it was a long process, but it was important to me. And then with what I was going through at the time, I think that this series really kind of saved my life. But yes, to answer your question, yes, it is a series of five episodes that I'm hoping I'll be able to premiere online soon.
Yes, yes, I hope so because I want to see it. I'm very interested.
Catch us at a film festival. So
I
we
was
are
gonna say,
at a
what are you
festival.
doing? What are you
South by
doing?
Southwest.
Are you doing South by Southwest? Any kind of?
If they call me, it's a little last minute. I didn't get accepted into South by Southwest, but I'm still kind of hopeful that maybe someone will tap on my shoulder for a festival or something, a panel or something. You never know.
Anybody can do something out there that's watching this.
Right.
Right.
But we are. We just recently did the Denton Black Film Festival, and I've submitted to multiple. I'm literally submitting everywhere that I can. But another thing that comes with that are the finances. It costs money to submit to festivals, and you don't get that money back if you're not accepted. So we still are fundraising for anyone who's interested in donating. We have a GoFundMe. I'm also now currently selling merch to kind of help raise funds as well. But we are in our festival run, so hoping we can also plan. My little announcement. We are going to be releasing another little special sneak peek of the series on our YouTube channel next month. Yay. And I'm hoping that if we can get to at least 50% on our GoFundMe, that I'll premiere an episode on our YouTube so that people have a better understanding of what they're kind of donating to. Awesome. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Gentrified Series on YouTube, Facebook,
make sure you
Instagram,
subscribe.
Twitter, all of it. But that's where we are now. Festival run, and then on announcing our online premiere.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Exciting.
exciting. That's
amazing.
very
Thank you.
exciting.
Super
It
exciting.
makes me happy.
So, who is one of your role models with you being a filmmaker, a creator? Because, like I told you remind me of Issa Rae. Because Issa Rae started with Awkward Black Girl series.
I love Awkward Black
and
Girl.
I was watching that, and I really loved it. And for her to develop it from a YouTube series to a book. And then she started the HBO series, and now she then start in films, creating her own film, The Photograph, which we got to go see.
We gotta go see that.
It's just like she started from the ground up. So I feel like that's where you are. So who do you look up to? Like, who do you not aspire to be, or maybe aspire to be like, but like, who are the people that you kind of look up to?
Issa Rae and Ava DuVernay.
I love
Ava.
Ava. I got to see her at a conference this summer.
Did you?
She's amazing. She wear press-on nails, girl.
Really?
Yes.
I love
She encouraged
Ava.
me to wear press-on.
I love
She said
her.
she don't got time to sit in a nail shop.
Listen, I
She got too
understand.
much to do.
Sis is booked and busy.
But-
But I love her, particularly Ava DuVernay, because everything that she does has a message to it.
She's so
and
for
so
the
that's
people.
kind of, you know what I mean?
So for the people.
I really love that about her, as well as she is a beautiful storyteller. For Issa Rae, she was really, really the person who inspired me to say, okay, I don't need to try to become a filmmaker and immediately get something into a theater. I can start with what I have. There aren't any gatekeepers. Let's put something on Facebook now. You can put stuff on Facebook, YouTube, on your own website. There are so many other avenues that you can go to break into the industry, and that's kind of where she inspired me. I was like, this girl really went, like you said, from YouTube, and if you go back and look at her series, it's like they literally just
So
had
hilarious.
a camera.
It's so hilarious.
Sis was working with what she had. It wasn't like
Yes.
the most, it wasn't the best
Cheap.
quality
It's cheap.
production,
It's cheap.
but she did it.
She did
and
it.
people loved it because she was genuine with who she is.
You can't help but love
and that
it.
was inspiring. It's like you really couldn't help but just fall
And
in
then
love
she's
with
so
her.
real. Like all
She
of her
is.
stories are like so real.
They're
It's
relatable.
Very
Relatable,
relatable.
yes.
So relatable.
100%.
Yes.
I think that's why when I first seen the Gentrified thing, and y'all know me, like, I'm Austin through and through, like head to toe. So when I initially started to see the change, it scared me. And me and Damon actually talked about it. He was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to continue to stay here. And that was kind of our thing. Like, we graduated from the same high school, so our thing was we're gonna raise our kids here. They gonna go to the school we went to. And now it's like, wait a minute. One of us got to become a millionaire real quick in order for us to sustain this goal and this dream, because it's outrageous, and we don't make like chump change. You know what I mean? We make decent money,
But even still.
but even with that, it's like that's I guess it's decent money for like the 90s, because right now it's like you have to. I saw an article that said for the average person to live comfortably in Austin, single, one person, they had to make, I think it was $76,582.
Baby, please.
I ain't there yet.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't make that kind of money. Am I right? But that's one person. We're not talking about two people or a family or children. You want us to make $300,000-$400,000 essentially to live comfortably in Austin.
So many people have moved
because you can't afford it.
And that's
so
the
many people have moved.
thing.
Dallas, Houston, like they gone.
I've met so many amazing people while living here in Austin, and I cannot tell you how many times I've had to tell somebody goodbye because they were like, I just cannot do it.
You gotta get it right.
And it's not just the cost of living, but it's also that it doesn't cater to black people. And I'm from here, and I went to school in Atlanta where it's blackety black, and came back, and I just had to really readjust myself and. Because I wanted to move again. Because I just like, this ain't.
It's a culture
I
shock.
love being around my people. So to have to search and look, like, I don't want to be around, just the same people all the time. And I want to have options of different vibes. If I want to go to a lounge with jazz or, a little trap music here or a little brunch where you can get up and twerk a little bit. Like, I want to have those options. And that's not an option in Austin.
Without there being an event or without you having to constantly seek it out.
Or it's one person or two promotional people that do the same thing.
Which is why we're trying to create.
It.
That's why we're trying to create that for y'all.
And that is amazing. That really is. There are a lot of black entrepreneurs here. A lot of people trying to put on events. There's all these things. But again, I think that what bothers me or what we kind of have to think about is I think we've been in this state of, well, whatever, we make our own spaces. We have to. We just make our own spaces. We get over
that's
it
how
and do
we
our
are in
own.
Austin.
But can we step back and ask why we have to constantly make our own? If I was a white woman and I wanted to go somewhere right now in Austin just to randomly go sit and have a drink
comfortably,
there would be a million places that would cater to me, and I would have no issues with who was going to be there or worrying about if I was going to see somebody else who looked like me. If I wanted to go get my hair done, there would be a million places that I could go get my hair done. I can't tell you how many times I've ran into black women in Austin who are like, girl, where do we get our products? So there's just a lot of little things that we have to constantly put actual effort into finding, whereas someone of a different race doesn't necessarily have to do that at all. And we have to ask that question.
Because in Austin, I will say, we do have those options for like hair products and certain things like that. It's just, they're limited. They're very limited. Like our only, African beauty supply store is in Pflugerville, right? Is that correct?
Well,
I could be wrong.
We have one.
That's the only one I know
and there's
of.
one in Cedar Park. It's called.
Who's gonna drive to Cedar Park? That's
apparently,
limited.
Honestly, that's where a lot of people live right now. Everybody is in like around Williamson County, so it's not even that far of a drive at this point because can't nobody afford to really live in Austin. But you're right.
That's true.
We have literally. But I mean, that's kind of an issue all over the USA. We don't have a lot of black-owned beauty salons, beauty shops, beauty supply stores. Period.
I guess in certain cities, that's probably not an issue. But I don't completely agree with that.
It's just one of those things where I'm one of those people where like I like to walk it like I talk it. So when I hear things, we need to have more of this. If I can't do it, I want to go to somebody and be like, hey, what do you think about us doing? Right. When we come together, we try to figure out something. Right. That's why I like what you did with Gentrify, because it's a story that needs to be told. It should have been told probably
a long time
ago. And it's because a lot of people didn't see it coming, that once it is here now, it's like it's so in your face that it's almost a little bit too hard to even come back from.
So, yeah.
You know what would be dope? It just light bulb in my head, but like you should possibly like interview some of the people that are like still in East Austin on like the changes, what they've seen, like as far as how much it's changed and things like that. I feel like my grandma could give you like some real knowledge, but I think it would just be interesting to hear from those that are originally from the community and have seen how much it's changed, and especially for those who refuse to leave. Like, because you have those older folks that's like, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna be here. Like,
standing their ground.
So I just think it would be dope to interview them or get their just their thoughts on how it's changed, because I know they're trying to push them out and they're like, no.
So I wanted to do a behind Gentrify thing where we kind of go and interview people, but I also want people to know that there are other amazing black female filmmakers. We're kind of hidden in Austin.
Y'all are. The only one I know is you for now.
And I really want people to know that there are so many of us. We're just kind of off in our own little corner, so we're hidden. Funmi. She just did, I think, a documentary on gentrification. She also we screened her short called East Side Like I Knew It to Be, where she follows an artist who was born and raised here, and they walk around and kind of talk about the way things were. We also have BB Aria, who did We Are, which premiered on Issa Rae's YouTube channel. Like, there are so many of us here. It's just like people just aren't really kind of checking for us or looking for us.
And you would think so, because Austin is big with film and stuff like that.
With the arts.
Yeah, with the arts and stuff like that. So you would think so, but honestly, I can't name
But
one.
it's because, they arts. Not with our arts.
This is the problem right here. But yeah, there are a lot of us here, and I'm hoping that along with Gentrified, bringing people together with that I can also maybe bring all the Black, beautiful filmmakers.
We need to create something like that.
Yeah, we have been talking about that because we need a collective or something, because there are really, really a lot of us here.
You know, your Facebook group? So you can...
We actually already have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do, called Black Lady Filmmaker. So if you are a filmmaker in Austin and you want to join that group, go ahead and send a request, because there are too many of us here who don't really get.
But there's certain things that we don't know
on the forefront, because that kind of talent is not easy. First of all, I don't make films. All I do is podcast and blog.
Yeah,
I could not imagine trying to get people to commit to something. It's like, ooh, girl, you can get people to sit down and have it.
And then write a whole script.
It's
Basically
a lot
like
that
you're
goes
an author.
into it. Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. The editing, and then as an indie filmmaker, a lot of people probably don't know that we wear a million hats. Haha, I didn't do that on purpose. We wear a million hats. So as far as also helping with production or producing, the writing, editing comes down to me. A lot of things from beginning to end kind of boil down to me, because when you don't have funds coming your way, you have to figure out how to do it. You gotta make do. So it's a lot, but you get it done.
So did you go to school for this, or like you said, this is just something that? Did you go to school for film?
I went to the Austin School of Film and I took a digital filmmaking class, but I wasn't there long. That course was maybe 2-3 months, and then my first film through that played at South by Southwest, called EXO, a little film that I did, and from there it really was just about learning on the fly.
Yeah.
But I would love to go back to school for it, because there's a lot to know and understand.
Yeah, I can bet.
But I've just been making do. I'm one of those people. I'm like you. I'm gonna roll my. Listen,
Might
we gotta
get
get
it
something done.
Yeah.
Let's go. How are we gonna get this done? And that's just me. So
I love that about you. I love that one. Remember we talking about being selfish? You see how she shouted out other people in her realm?
Collaborative effort.
That's come on, y'all. I wish y'all figured.
Collaborate, don't compete.
Please.
there's
It's enough room for everybody.
There are only
That you
a small
found.
group of black. That's what I'm saying. As far as even just black people in Austin, there are only so many of us here. It's like you got to have each other's back. You got to collaborate, because what's the alternative?
Yeah.
I wish this was the 60s. Before we stuck together. I swear I feel like I was born in the wrong decade.
Girl.
But I love what you're doing.
Yes,
I
we love it.
1000% support every bit of it. And please shoot us any information. We will share it on our page. We got a YouTube channel too, y'all, but we got to wait 24 hours before we're going to upload stuff live. So
YouTube be on that stuff.
Be on the lookout for that. But it's like we have to. I'm real big with us coming together.
Definitely.
I'm real big about it. Like I try to collaborate with every black woman. Like, oh, you sell insurance, girl, for what? I got a friend that needs some insurance. I mean, I'm big on it. So to know that is just everything, and I sincerely appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
And I wish you the best of luck, because I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait for the series to premiere, because
Absolutely.
I'm going to be tuned in. So y'all make sure that y'all follow Tia's series page, which is Gentrified Series.
Gentrified Series on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Right. Do you have anything coming up for it? Or like, because I know you're supposed to be at the...
Yes. So Geeks of Color was supposed to happen, but it was canceled. In March, we will be in Killeen, and I'm trying to pull up the name of it. Ooh, don't kill me.
Oh, you got time.
Killeen's inaugural Black Art and Film Showcase.
I saw that.
On March 20th. We will be a part of that, so you'll see me promoting that soon. I'm also meeting with other organizations here so that we can plan a screening and a panel, because a young lady came to me and she was like, she's not black, and she was like, how do I buy a home and not gentrify? Like, she was like, I really don't want to add to the problem. And I was like, first of all, thank you for even asking.
Come on, friend.
The question. But I do think that having a panel with experts, not myself, but actual experts who can speak to how we combat gentrification, what you can do, where you should buy, all this stuff, we're gonna do that too. So.
I love it.
Awesome. So all of that'll be updated.
Yes.
Stay tuned
All
on
of
your
it'll be updated on our social
handles.
media.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
thank you once again for coming.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate
I
it.
slid into your DMs, but
I appreciate it. Slide away. Listen,
I'm
please
glad
talk to
you
me.
came. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Thank
And, you know,
you.
we'll be in conversation through
Definitely.
our little group,
Absolutely.
so. Yes, we all follow. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a great week. Hopefully y'all got some rest for those who are off today. And make sure y'all go by Paradise on Ice. Get your
gonna get me
daiquiri.
this way.
Yes, we're gonna take a shot of yummy.
Give me one of them yummy bears.
The Texas
But
side.
yes,
The rummy bear.
Oh, I'm smacking.
Come on. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is salt. My lord.
Tipsy cocoa.
You can tell it's strong because it's not even solid.
You can smell it.
Yes.
We still on?
Well, cheers to Monday. Here we over here eating
Trying to
the bears.
I was about
Right.
to slurp. Let me know.
Well, y'all come in not next Monday, but Monday,
I don't know the days.
not next Monday, but the following Monday, we will have the lovely. Hold on. My
See.
dang on phone.
The
died.
2nd of March.
Yes, March 2nd. What? Well, just tune in. We'll give you some more information on that.
I don't know what happened, y'all.
I don't know either.
That's why we live.
But we love y'all. Stay tuned for March Manifest as well. Have a great week. Peace.
Bye.